Hello and welcome to the Just Win Baby podcast. Today we are breaking down UFC 327, which is headlined by Jiri and Ulberg, joined again by Ruby to break down the card. We done well last week. Hit Gore, had the submission as well. Stupid numbers, so that was good to see. Cash, going to keep the train rolling. Like this card. What do you reckon, bro? Any good bets? Excited for it?
Excited for this card. I have some okay bets. Well, I'm usually thinking about what you're thinking about and trying to make money off that.
Sounds good, because I feel confident. All right, let's get into it then. Tapology as always. First fight of the night, we have Chuck fighting Prado. I thought originally it was kind of short notice for Chuck, but apparently it's the same situation for both guys. Either way, I like the underdog. Got him at plus 175. He's now plus 145. And I think that's still trending. I expect him to be around plus 120. I thought the line was well off at the beginning. But yeah, you can see it, man. Like he's lost his last, 3 fights, Prado, but it doesn't tell the full story. He's changed weight classes now. I think he's learned from those fights. And he was against people like Zal Huber with a huge reach on him. He's got his little T-Rex arms. So I think he's always going to find it difficult to get in range. But Chuck's a guy where he can use his skills, man. Chuck's been knocked out like 3 or 4 times. And that's like the big X factor for me in this fight. If I'm taking the underdog who's durable, never been finished, he reminds me of Kevin Vallejos, these little fucking midget steroid heads who've got cardio for days and they just want to fucking bang. And Chuck's going to oblige, and I just don't think Chuck's durable to play that game. Yeah, he could land some it, but I think the kid's just going to eat it up, throw some it back, and fuck Chuck up. So Chuck better wrestle. Don't think he can do it consistently. He probably is the better wrestler of the two, but it's MMA, man, and there's going to be punches thrown. He's seen in the Blood Diamond fight. In the debut for Chuck, he wasn't able to take him down, and Blood Diamond's a fucking day one amateur, man. So I think over the 3 rounds, Prado will have the bigger moments and likely find a TKO along the way. What do you reckon?
I mean, can't argue with that. I just think it's a bad bet betting on Buffalo Chuck at minus odds. Like if you want to take a shot on him as a dog, he's one of those fighters you can only back as an underdog. He's not a favorites kind of fighter. Prado's someone who's super young. He's like 21. He's one of the youngest UFC fighters. So you always got to keep that in mind with these young fighters. There's like a lot of progress between fights. They're still a work in progress, whereas Chuck is Chuck. It's the same old tough steak, and he's not.
Yeah, and it's like the mentality as well. I don't like if Chuck, like he's a meathead. He's ignorant, flips off the crowd when he's on the scales, flipping off the crowd, and it's to nobody. No one's like, he's a weirdo. Nobody's even said anything, and he's there like flipping the beard, just being like aggro for no reason. He's the same old guy. I've seen him in interviews saying he's going to like tailor his approach to fights, and he's learning, he's maturing. There's nothing mature about the guy, man. He's always going to be the same dickhead, and he's always going to fight the same way, aggressive, aggro. And he's just going to get countered by the more durable guy. So I love it.
You see it later, like 2-3?
It's hard to say, man. I'd go more like 1-2, to be honest. They're just going to meet in the middle.
Round 1 KO's 450. Round 2 is 800. Do you see a sub? Do you any sub equity for Prado?
No, not really. It'd just be a guess, man, just because the number's stupid, but probably throwing away money. And I don't like them KO round numbers. People were showing me the KO numbers for Kevin round 2-3, or was it Paulo Costa? Anyway, when they're like 500s, like 700 for 2-3, I don't like that, man. I want to see something stupid like 1,300, 1,800.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we can move on.
Let's move on.
Next up, we have Kelvin Gastelum against Luque. Taking Kelvin, see what he's like on the scales. Followed him on Instagram. He's on some new diet program. Probably doesn't even need a diet. Just stop eating fucking pizza and cookies, whatever the fuck you're doing, man, because it's not for a normal human being. So, yeah, I don't think dieting was ever like the problem for Kevin. It was just him being a gluttonous bastard, and he's never changed. So, we'll see, but I like him here. It's more of a fade on Luque. He's moving up in weight for this one, 185. That's probably not too bad against someone like Kelvin, who's a little short ass himself. But, you know, I just don't like what it says about Luque at this stage in his career. You know, he looks like he's falling off. When he gets hurt, he's diving in for desperate takedowns. He did it with Kevin Holland, didn't like how it was going, then got himself choked. So yeah, I expect that's how it's going to go here. You know, Kelvin's durable as fuck. He's going to be in the fight for the full 15 minutes. I think when the going gets tough, Luque will get going, and I think he gets finished at some point in this fight. Even if Kelvin comes in fat, you know, I don't care. You know, he still fights the same fat, skinny.
I think we lost him. It's the Drew Show now. Well, I don't have much valuable information to tell you because I don't research the fights. I'm not a capper. But I will be betting Kelvin Gastelum most likely.
I don't know what the fuck happened there, bro.
It's all good. I was filling the airtime a little bit by just treading water.
I'm gonna edit it out or something, so we'll just fucking skip it. We was on Kelvin and Luque. Yeah, Kelvin to knock him out at some point. Luque's fell off. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, this is a battle of senior citizens fighting it out to, I don't know, do what? This is like UFC senior edition. Two guys fighting up at 85 instead of their natural 70 where they used to have championship aspirations, and now they're just...
Yeah, they have the same manager as well, man. Ali Sleaze, you know, there's a theory that when those two guys fight, they kind of give each other a break. Like Joel Alvarez, he was another one in that Luque fight. You know, it should have been stopped. You know, I watched that back for tape this week, and the ref was a motherfucker, man, because Joel was beating his ass. But yeah, we can move on. I think Kelvin's a solid play this week. I think he wins.
Decision?
Nah, I don't think Luque wants it, man, at all. I think I just seen him. You know, he got hit twice in two of his recent fights, and both times he shot in.
And you think just little hammer fists as he's sort of shelling in?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, man. I looked at the submission for Kelvin. It's like 1,600. I don't know. He used to sub back in the day, but yeah, if he goes to the ground, I can see TKO. I don't know. Maybe bet the ITD to be safe rather than the KO.
He hasn't gotten a finish in a long time, huh? But I guess Luque is just so ready to give it up.
Yeah, but look who he's been fighting, Kelvin, the best of the best. Like, I don't even need to look. Like, his last 10 fights, fucking... Yeah, Kelvin fights decent opposition, man.
Yep.
Next up, a fight. Well, I'll introduce him. Mereros against Padilla. I was struggling on this one, and I still am, to be honest. I like Padilla by sub. I think that's kind of his only method to win this fight. Not only, most likely method to win this fight is submission. And yeah, Mereros to do his thing. You know, he's a point fighter. It's boring, calf kicks, methodical, low volume, kind of reactive to what his opponent does. Doesn't want it to touch the ground, doesn't offensively wrestle. So yeah, it's pretty much a binary fight, and I'm guessing Padilla knows what needs to be done. So he better do some grappling in this fight, because if he doesn't and it stays on the feet, I think it's going to be close as fuck, and Mereros is going to look like a good underdog. So yeah, based on that, you'd kind of say it's dog or pass, you know, based on the value where the lines are at. You know, you can't really be betting Padilla at like -160, -170. You should have got him back in the day in his last 2-3 fights when he's been like turning it up as the fucking but yeah, I don't know, dog or pass, I guess. If you get betting Padilla, I like the sub angle. Final thoughts.
Padilla sub +600. Mereros, you think likely decision +215?
Yeah, I'd say if Mereros wins this fight, it's decision all day. I don't see him getting... He's not aggressive enough, man. Too reactive of what the opposition's doing.
I mean, there's some nice money to be made by playing both those lines and, you know, weighting them adequately so that you make profit either way. Padilla sub 600.
That's pretty
Mereros
high.
decision, 215. There's money in the middle.
Don't love that 215. Don't love Mereros as well, man. He's a flake. Fucking, I watched the 2 fights he won by split decision. One was Austin Hubbard, and I'm forgetting the other one. But either way, it was like he was winning the fight until he wasn't, because as soon as they got a takedown, he looked like a fish. They had the back, put the body triangle in, almost got rear naked choke for the remainder of the round.
You think Padilla has decision equity?
I guess, but I doubt the number's good. I think it's just a guessing game, innit? Like we're doing now, guessing, maybe. Probably best to just stay away based on that, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Seems hairy and not enough.
Yeah,
plus
too many
numbers.
hits.
I'm good to move on.
I'll mark him down as a live underdog, man, Mereros. There's only a couple on the card.
You mean if he loses round 1, you're interested in a live bet?
Mereros, yeah, I want to see what Padilla's doing, man. If he can't consistently like get the takedowns, and he's going to be fucked, because on the feet, I think Mereros is too technical for him. You've seen that with Padilla. He's kind of got lucky on his run. You know, he got the elbow on the Chinese guy. If he didn't get the elbow, how would that have gone? You saw him against Jai Herbert in like a split decision. He's flaky on the feet. He kind of just avoids the fight. Pop shots with like these elbows, trying to get the perfect moment. If you don't get the perfect moment, he's going to get outpointed.
And Mereros sort of avoids the fight and circles around and leg kicks, and he's got the big cage, so that's advantage for him to do that.
Yeah, is Chris Gutierrez his like younger brother? If he is younger, I don't even know if he is, but yeah, he's Chris Gutierrez, isn't he?
Fair enough. I'm good to move on.
So we got Lupe Godinez against Suarez, Tatiana Suarez. I like Suarez a lot, man. I was gonna max better. I was waiting to see where the line went. But yeah, then I did more tape, man, and I'm off it. I kind of see what people are saying. You know, in the Lemos fight in round 3, she was gassed, couldn't get the takedowns, landed on her back. And when she was on her back, man, Lemos weren't throwing the meanest ground and pound, but she was able to like cut through her guard. It's like when Tatiana's on her back, man, she's wide open to like ground and pound. So I did consider Loopy ground and pound 2-3. You know, she's a wrestler herself. If she can negate the takedowns, we've seen Suarez. She's a fish standing. She's got stand up that's equivalent to a fucking fella, and they're both shit. You know, they're all about getting the takedown, getting the backpack, and getting a submission, maybe a guillotine. They got nasty guillotines. But yeah, size, man. Then I was looking at the metrics. Suarez is like 4 inches taller, 5 inches taller. And then I looked at Loopy and the opponent she's fought before, and they're all midgets. People like Vanessa Demopoulos, Loma. They're all 5'1", 5'2". So she's had success against midgets. And then I looked against her against people who were like taller than her. And she lost twice to Horf, you know, that Canadian bitch who's like 36. I think she's fighting next week in Winnipeg. She lost to Horf twice. She lost to that lanky bitch, Penne, Angela Hill's friend. You know what I mean? She struggles against these taller opposition. So, yeah, I was mixing all these up, and I landed on Suarez, TKO, and some ITD. Right. So, Hit me out. The TKO is, I think that it's going to go similar to the Carlos Esparza fight. I consider Carlos Esparza like top 5 in all of women MMA's like top wrestlers. You know, that was her base. That was how she dominated everyone to become the champion. Suarez is a good wrestler. Then she faced Tatiana, another wrestler, you know, kind of hit a brick wall, the same as her, but different, but extremely bigger. And she just big brothered her, man. Mauled her. She didn't want to give up the sub. She was being a stubborn bitch. So she TKO'd her in round 3. And I think it's the same with Loopy, man. Loopy's a mental midget. When she's fucking facing adversity and she can't have her way, she crumbles. And if Suarez is able to implement the game like she did with Carla, take her down, maul her, and what if she's a stubborn bitch as well and doesn't give it up? I could see Suarez doing that and not gassing because she's not facing adversity. You know, she's getting these takedowns easy from Loopy because, like I said, she's a mental midget. And as the fight goes on, she doesn't get away. She goes into autopilot mode. So, yeah, that just makes for Suarez to be able to cook her in round 2-3. And I think when the TKO is 18-1 and the TKO for round 2-3 is like fucking 50-1, 60-1, it makes sense to fucking sprinkle it.
I mean, you can't argue against the sprinkle. Would you advocate for Suarez money line to anyone?
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. I'd rather the ITD, because if it goes the way that I think it's gonna go, she's gonna like be too much on top. I watched Werner against Loopy, and Werner was able to get the back and almost a rear naked choke, but she ran out of time. She had like 15 seconds in round one, but she would have got it. So I think it's there. She just hasn't faced that caliber of opponent too often, Loopy, stylistically. And Tatiana's just awful for her, man. It's like someone who can do what she can, but better, bigger. She's got submissions, and yeah, you can dog her for being shit on the feet and the rest of it, but she's still a slick wrestler. And when she can do her thing and be the hammer, man, Suarez is a problem.
The reach disadvantage, I think, is 4 inches, and that's a problem.
Yeah, it's not going to help Loopy. She's going to be doing the Macy Barber thing on the outside, fucking 2 meters away from the opponent, touching air. And then so Suarez has got it easy. It's not Wiley fucking Zhang, who's dangerous as fuck, throwing her combos like Jackie Chan on the feet. She can throw caution to the wind to get into the range and tie her up on the fence. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Within the first fucking 30 seconds, Suarez is going to close the distance, tie her up, push against the cage, wait for the double leg and get it, man. And then, yeah, she's just going to maul it.
Seems like minus 150 is a great value based on your read on Suarez.
I know, yeah. I just hate betting women at chalk, man. I agree. I just haven't done it for that reason. Like, women at chalk, and I don't know.
No, that's fair.
Okay, let's move on. That was a long one, man. Okay, we got Gamrot and Ribovics. Fucking, this is another long one as well. Taking Gamrot, surprised by all the Ribovic love. I think it's binary as fuck, even from memory. I just know Gamrot, decision machine, boring grappler, hasn't got stand up. And then I know about Ribovics, he's got cardio for days, high volume, violent, but he's got bad takedown defense, really bad takedown defense. You seen it in the Camuela fight. He took him down round 1, round 2, almost got the sub, but gassed himself because he's a flake. And yeah, you've seen other examples of it as well. So yeah, matching these two up, I'm like, well, I'm taking Gamrot, obviously. All he's got to do is not gas out. And then the opposition are going to say, fucking, yeah, but he gassed out against Hooker, wasn't able to do it there. I think there was another fight, maybe it was Jalen Turner against Gamrot. But there's another example of Gamrot gassing. But the fight against Hooker, that was in Australia. He had to travel. He was still able to do his thing. He was still able to go to decision. He didn't quit. He's not a flake in there. And then I look at Ribovics, and he's not knocking people out cold, apart from Terence McKinney. But that always happens if Terence can't get his way. So I don't think he's got one punch KO power. Ribovics, it's usually an accumulation of strikes. We weren't able to knock out Zell Huber, and look what we know about Zell Huber now. He's a complete fraud. So yeah, I like Gamrot a lot, and Gamrot sub wouldn't even surprise me. That's 7-1. This is a different level of like BJJ than I think Ribovics has faced before. Yeah, people have took him down, but Gamrot's got a good sub game, man, from top, and I expect it to be a 30-27. So if they're going to tell me, I can give you sub at 7-1, I'm like, yeah, I can see a sub along the way if he's consistent with the takedowns like I expect him to be. So yeah, I like Gamrot a lot, man.
I mean, if you like Gamrot that much, minus 3.5 Gamrot, which means if he wins, 30-27 on 2 judges, 29-28 on 1 judge, that's a cash bet. That's plus number. Minus 3.5 is plus 125 Gamrot.
Plus 125.
That's a good number.
Yeah. Write that down, man. That's good. Yeah, I like it because I expect him to dominate. If he doesn't, he's fucked. If he slows down a little bit, it's not Dan Hooker. Dan was kind of letting him off the hook in round 3, like pot shotting still because he was tired himself. Right. Ribovics doesn't get tired, man.
And Ribovics' reach is much, much shorter than Dan Hooker's. To get Dan Hooker down is a much, much harder. He's got those long pillar arms to post with. Ribovics is not that long and lean like Dan Hooker. And Dan Hooker, I'd argue, is at least half an echelon above the Ribovics of the world. This is a big step down for Gamrot and a big step up for Ribovics. And I guess the odds reflect it, but maybe not enough. Maybe if I would line it, should be minus 250 Gamrot and plus 200 Ribovics.
200 and 250 for Gamrot. And you're right, Dan Hooker is a big fucker, and he threatens with a guillotine a lot. You know, it scares people off when they're on the single legs, and Dan's consistent with that guillotine threat. I like it. Anyway, that was pretty simple. Next up, another fight of controversy. Kevin Holland against Randy Brown. Got a good record on Holland, taking him here. He's going to fuck up Randy Brown. Could be the KO or submission, but I expect it to be either one. I'm betting violence. It was like minus 105, minus 110. I think that's an excellent value because one of these are getting finished. You know, I don't know about percentages and shit, but I think Kevin Holland wins this fight. Randy Brown's fucking a sucker, man. Got TKO'd by Nico Price from fucking from Maine. He flakes it, man. Like a JDM, he got like wobbled on the feet and then got finished. Bombed him, Cash bombed him against him as well. I'll have to record, man. I bet that's fucking great too. Remember Cashing bombed him. Don't like Brian. He's a point fighter. I don't like his finishing instincts. Don't like his style. I like Kevin. I know what he's about. I like that it's at 170. That shows some commitment. I'd be more concerned if it was a 185. And there are no other concerns about Kevin. Like, I think it's been a plus. I see him on Fight Week talking his shit in interviews, and he seems fired up. He seems like he wants to hurt Brian. I like that. I think Kevin needs that animosity to gear him up for fights. He's got good reach. That's going to help him. You know, people talk about his durability lacking. You know, he got rocked by D-Rod, but D-Rod's like 220 on fight night, and he can crack. He's a good stand-up fighter, D-Rod is. Got some good boxing. So, yeah, Kevin's durability is still there. He doesn't get knocked out. He's not going to get knocked out. He's got good jiu-jitsu. Browns isn't good enough to snatch anything up on Kevin, so he's safe. So, yeah, Kevin's got 15 minutes to fucking find something, and I think he will. And, yeah, maybe that's my favorite prop of the week, Kevin to fuck up Brian, because I'm pretty sure it happens, man. Don't know about 99% of the time. That was probably a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is about Jamaican fighters. They're all like sizzle and no steak. Like, who's the 125er? Ode Osborne.
Ode.
And then you had Uriah Hall back in the day. Something about Jamaican fighters all have this, like, they seem to be the perfect fighter. Have like they're tall, lanky, twitchy, can do all the flashy stuff, but when the lights are brightest, they never manage to reach championship level.
Yeah, all cocky as fuck and can't back it up.
I guess does Leon claim Jamaica at all?
Not really. I think when it suits him, and then, you know, when it suits him, he's London born and bred or whatever the fuck. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on Holland. This is a big step down for Holland and a big step up for Randy Brown. I mean, Holland's faced the who's who. He faced the champ way before he was champ, a division up.
Yeah, it is a huge step down. And they like Kevin. They keep him around. You know, they use him when they want to build people up. And that's how you have to, like, cap him, man. You have to realize, like, when he's getting set up to build somebody else, you know. And he knows that himself. You know that when he's going into fights, like against Derrida, he knows the situation. All right, I got to take my L this time. Give me half my paycheck. I'll be back in 6 months. And, you know, I take my fucking win bonus with me as well.
They usually give him a performance bonus anyway, so it all ends up working out for him. So
yeah,
locking it. Kevin Holland violence plus 220 or whatever it is. It's a nice number.
Yeah, I was going to take it, man, but like I said, when they're giving fight doesn't go the distance, almost plus money, I was like, why not? Anyway, Pitbull against Pico. I left this one till last. Wasn't sure. Cash Leon, cashed in by KO. Leron, whatever his name is, against Pico. Yeah, man, he looks stiff as hell. I went back and watched that fight against Murphy, and it was definitely the jitters, man. You know, I could see, I knew the KO was coming, but you could see it like the minute prior. Like, I watched the footage like just before he got knocked out, and he was moving like a robot. He definitely like didn't know when to go. He was unsure of himself. So yeah, I think I'm expecting that was a one-time thing. I think if he gets that under control, we see him as he usually is, you know, an amazing wrestler, athletic, dynamic, the rest of it, good cardio. But he is a bit flaky, man. He's been KO'd before, he's been subbed before, and he's been guillotined, which is one of Pitbull's favorites. He's got a nice guillotine on him. So whether Pitbull's old as fuck or not, he's still got the guillotine on him. He's still got power. I see he's looking to counter people now. That could make for a boring fight. But, you know, Pico's usually aggressive. Maybe he's a bit tentative because he got knocked out in his last fight. Maybe he hits the wrestling straight away. I don't know. But I like Pico either way. I think he avoids the guillotine on takedowns. And I think he is going to, like, wrestle ASAP. I think he wants to stay safe. Probably scared he got knocked out last time. Doesn't want a repeat of that. Said he was in a dark place and, you know, was going to fucking kill his cat or whatever because he was pissed off. So, yeah, I reckon he gets a decision win here unless Pitbull gives it up like in round 2, 3. But I don't think so. You know, that's what I look for when I'm trying to bet the ITDs in these fights is the opposition a bitch. And nah, Pitbull ain't a bitch. Even if you're wrestling him in for 3 rounds, he ain't going to give you a sub just for the fuck of it because he wants to go home. You know, you don't want that shame or whatever on his record. So, Pico decision, man.
That's fair. There's not much meat on the bone in terms of a betting angle because Pico money lines minus 278. Yeah. And then his decision is plus 185. Actually, it's interesting that you think Pico is much more likely to go to decision because his KO line is plus 150 compared to his decision plus 185.
The only thing I looked at that fight was either sub because it was like 460, and I thought, well, that covers the guillotine because Pico can be a flake, and I know he's going to wrestle, and then that also covers him cooking Pitbull. But I just don't think Pitbull's that done to give up a sub. You know, I think he can like play guard and stay safe. And
that's the problem with these Brazilian guys. They're comfortable staying in guard the whole round and losing and believing they'll catch a triangle at some point.
And that's what I'm trying to avoid as well, man. I used to bet like every single fight, no matter what, even in this fight. And I can't remember the one I mentioned earlier where I haven't really got a take, you know, it could, you know, finish that way. And it's still, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a flyer on sub 2-3. I'm like, nah, just fucking put that one down as a fucking smoke break or go make a drink or whatever and just like pass on it completely, man, because it's very low percentage. Like leave those sprinkles for the ones that have actually like got potential of hitting.
I'm good to move on.
Yeah. Otherwise, you sprinkle on every fucking card and those sprinkles add up to fucking 2-3 units. Anyway.
I agree. It's a waste of money. Especially if you're not that interested in the fight anyway. I mean, it has the potential to be a terribly boring fight.
That's it, bro. If I have the shittest fight ever, I'm like, well, I'll make this interesting by betting her by fucking, you know, ninja choking round 3 or whatever. Anyway, Cub Swanson retirement fight against Nate Landwehr. I was automatically going to take Cub, man, in this one because I didn't like how Nate's been fighting in his last 2 fights. You know, it's not Nate the train. It's not him pushing the pace, breaking people. But then I thought, well, the people he was fighting, man, they got offensive wrestling. And, you know, Morgan Charrier, you know, he's young. He's a well-rounded guy. He can kind of negate that game. So, yeah, I kind of gave him a pass for that. So then in the end, I was just fucking torn, man. I went back and watched the Cub fight against Erosa. You know, he wasn't doing that great in the fight, you know, until he did. You know, he is 42, though. You kind of got to give him a pass for that. Seen his physique this week. He kind of looks like he's on the juice, reminding me of Eric Anders, who, you know, magically got a fucking steroid physique at fucking 40 years old. So I don't know, man. I still go back and forth now. As you can see, I'm not too confident on a side. I think decision, that's probably something I think is high percentage that they go the full 3 rounds. It's a back and forth war, certainly over 1.5. I could say that. But who gets their hand raised? Who the fuck knows, man? It's going to be a split decision type shit. Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best fights on the card. But as an outcome, who knows, man?
It's tough because, yeah, just any one decision is plus 100, which is nice. But then the KO is also plus 105. So the bookmakers reflect your analysis of the fight, which is like, who knows? Someone could get chin from being old. They could just be tired and swinging and no one can KO anyone and it goes the distance. Because Cub Swanson plus 100, Nate minus 120. So it's exactly as you're kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't expect a finish, man. If anyone's going to finish, it's probably going to be Cub by KO. Nate's the one who's shown the more like susceptible chin in his career. And in his retirement fight, Cub, he's got his problems, but he's got a lot of heart. And Nate isn't like a one-punch KO guy. He's going to break you down. And I don't think Cub's going to give anything up in 2-3. Like I was saying with Pitbull, these guys are too veteran, man. They've got pride and shit. They're not flakes. So, yeah.
Maybe just for the hell of it, because Cub's had a hell of a career. He's been pretty entertaining in every fight. I'll drop in a round 3 KO Cub because maybe he'll push for it in the last 30 seconds and get it like Max.
Go on then. What's that? I'd want over 15-1.
It's looking pretty high. So just Cub round 3 in general is 1,100. Let me see.
Yeah, it's going to be about 15 then.
Cub round 3 KO plus 1,200. So there's not much equity. Yeah, I mean, the bookmakers know that Cub's not going for a go-go plata.
It's good though. I don't know if you've got it on your books over there, but I've got one here, and they can do like Cub KO 2-3. So yeah, in that example, it would cut the price, and you'd probably get like 8-1 or 9-1 or something.
Yeah, it'll split the difference.
Okay, anyway, we will go to the next one. Reyes against Walker. Another one I kind of struggled with, but I ended up with Reyes just because of the experience, the footwork, the range management, and the length. He's more technical, where Johnny, yeah, he's got that one-punch KO power. But he's kind of reckless. When he used to win his fights back in the day, it was because he caused chaos, man. Spinning back fists against Ledet, whatever his name was. And, he needed to cause chaos to win because he's not technical. And that's still the case. He hasn't shown up that gap between, Reyes and himself and Reyes. So, yeah, I'm taking Reyes. He's got a dodgy chin, but he's more technical, better footwork. And I think that's going to be the major difference in this fight. And he should KO Johnny. That chin on Johnny, man, fucking, it's a joke. So I expect Reyes to knock him out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a battle of glass cannons. One has a capoeira base, the other has a football and boxing base.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I agree with your view that Reyes is probably going to finish him. I can't get around it at the price because his chin is dust. It's just too much of a coin flip. But and the bookmakers are charging minus 105 for Reyes KO, and even Reyes KO 1 isn't that playable. I don't think. I think Reyes KO 1 is plus 180.
Disgusting, bro. They can go fuck themselves. We don't want that.
So you can't play any of those, even though you think that's probably the most realistic outcome. Any interest? Contrarian, just because we are ultimately sometimes swayed by price. It's not even that good. Johnny Walker KO1 is plus 300, so the bookmakers know that it's likely to end by whatever lucky punch lands first.
All them prices were as expected, if not worse, especially the fucking like Dom KO1, like 190, like shit. Yeah, I want no interest in that. That's what I've been trying to do as well, man. Set my own lines. Like as you were talking, I was like, I want 300 for that, and then you're like 195. I'm like, fuck that, then. If it ain't aligned to what I was thinking, there's no like value. If you get me.
I think that's what's called EV.
Yeah, I never understood it. I used to joke when everyone mentioned it. What the fuck's EV? And they're like, yeah, Cappy, you don't even know EV. I'm like, nah, I don't even know how to spell chat GTP. I always call it whatever. Let's move on. We have Blades against Hockett. I'm taking Blades. I think Hockett's run into a brick wall here. He's done well for himself. Won his last 3 fights, his first 3 fights in the UFC. Good for him. Blades, solid wrestler. I'd put him top 5 in the UFC. Like, That's his base. He's solid as fuck. Almost became the champ, but there was a guy called Ngannou in his way. And even Ngannou, man, when he fought him, I think it was like around 2-3 KO. Ngannou had to fucking fuck him up before he finally got the finish. So I like Blades, man. I like that wrestling base. I like the experience. And Hockett, what I don't like from him is I don't think he's a fighter. I don't think he likes like fighting. I think when I watch him on the feet, he runs out of ideas and he either like blitzes people and he uses his athleticism and speed at that weight class to fuck them up because they've been lesser opponents. Or he hits a blast double on him and he might not be the better wrestler than them, but he gets them down and, does his thing from there. And yeah, maybe he might try that with Curtis, man, but he's a completely different level of wrestler, and I firmly believe that, and that's why I'm taking him. I don't mind the TKO because, what if Hockett just runs into him, tries to take him down, and then gets put on the mat? If Blades is on top, he's nasty. He ain't gonna let you back up. He's gonna throw elbows. So yeah, what are Blades 2-3, man, for the TKO? That'd be nice.
Blades KO 2 is plus 800. Round 3 plus 1,000. I don't mind those numbers at all. I sort of agree with you. I think I was sort of blinded by Hockett's aggression and Cain Velasquez movement. He's sort of one of those lighter heavyweights that can sort of buzz around the bigger heavyweights. He's not nearly as good or not nearly as cool as Cain Velasquez, the real Mexican. I know our friend was doing a fake Cholo accent at the presser. So yeah, I was fooled by the athleticism and initially was like, yeah, man, Hockett's going to get Blades. And for whatever reason, Blades is so underwhelming as an athlete and an MMA fighter. He's been around forever. You love to I don't know. He's just he's like beige, No one's excited about beige. Beige is just a color that exists, even though he's black as fuck. But
I was about to say, yeah, he's vanilla, but that's not a good one either.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's definitely a big black man that'll fuck you up. He's huge, and he's going to be much bigger than Hockett. And maybe this is a little bit like Suarez and Godinez in the sense that they have the same skill set. One's bigger, and one's faced much stiffer competition. Sure, you're not that excited about, the bigger one, but I don't think the smaller one has a chance. And it's the lines reflect that reality too. So they're sort of parallel fights that way.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the game plan. Hockett needs to go in there, in my opinion. This is what I'd tell him if I was his fucking coach. You need to fucking pretty much point fight here, mate. Don't engage in the grappling. You're not going to take this guy down. Hit him and run him. Hit and run. Use your speed. Point fight him. Get the experience, the cage experience. You're better than him on the feet. Speed kills. Don't overload in your punches because then he's able to take you down. Just fucking stay away from. He's a big bear. See him as a big fucking bear and you're a little bunny rabbit and you need to fucking run away for fucking 15 minutes to survive. Do that and pour at him a little bit and you'll win the fight. And he would, man. If he did that, he'd win the fight easy against Blades. He hasn't got the footwork to do it. He needs wrestling. But you need to trust Hockett to do that, and I don't. So I'm taking Blades.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Hockett's capable of executing that game plan that you described. For whatever reason, the line's crashing right now, by the way, because Blades, the Blades used to be closer to minus 150. He's now minus 120.
Okay, he started out 120 because that's the range I got him at. So he must have gone up and.
Yeah, he went up, I guess, and then came back down because they were offering Hockett at plus 115 and it's now plus 100. So there's money coming in on Hockett, at least on DraftKings.
Yeah, it's all going to change, man. Minus 110 a piece, probably. Hockett's going to get love from the Joe public as we get closer to the fight. Let's talk about Costa and Asmat and talk up Costa. Taking him, I just seen the presser, they sized up. He's got good size on Asmat. I know fucking Ratic did as well, and look what happened to him. So maybe size don't mean shit against Asmat. But yeah, I like it on the Costa side. It's a plus. In terms of the fight, I like the kicks from Costa. I think they're going to be brutal. We know Azamat, he slows down in fights. He did it in the Jacoby one. That was probably the best example of it. And I don't think that's good against Costa. You know, I think Costa, when he knows it's 3 rounds, I think he's learned from his previous mistakes. You know, he's had all the experience in the world for Izzy. That was his only finish loss. But yeah, he's had all the experience now, and I think he's going to put all that to use. And I think he's going to knock this fucking Azamat out. Yeah, the body kicks are too much, man. And like, he was hitting him on Kopylov. He was going to the head, very sneaky, very fast with it, man. And Azamat, as the fight goes on, he looks like absolute shit. You know, Costa's not wrong. He's a fat cunt. And he's a nobody as well. Can't even speak English. He fights like fucking once a year. We rarely see him, and he just pops up and knocks some you know, mid-tier fighter out. I think Costa's different, man. Costa's notoriously durable, bar the fight with Izzy. I like him at 205 as well, not cutting weight. You know, that was a huge thing for him. You know, I went back and watched some of the funny videos with Marvin and that whole like fucking fiasco. I think they were supposed to fight at 185 and he came in at like fucking 195 or something. Anyway, taking Costa, I think the kicks are too much, man. He carries them through, you know, throughout the fight. He might not be high volume, but he's consistent with them kicks. And when Azamat slows down, he's not going to like a big fucking kick to the body. So I got Costa to knock him out.
And Costa's had experience kicking southpaws, which Azamat is too. So that should open up his back power kick right straight up to that lever, right?
Yeah, and I think that Azamat's kind of a one-trick pony, man. Like with his left, he's pretty good and he's pretty fast with it in ring one, like blitzing him with it. But I think Costa's seen it all before, man. The guy fucking went toe-to-toe with what's his name? The fucking 50-year-old Joel Romero at the height of his fucking career when he was like more juiced up than he is now as a 50-year-old. And yeah, I love some Costa.
If you can survive a 5-round beating from Joel Romero, you're more man than most men will ever be on this planet Earth.
I think there's times to fade Costa, but this is like tailor-made, man. Someone who's not going to wrestle him. It's a step down from the likes of Izzy and everyone else he's been fighting in his career. So I like these fights for Costa now. You got Kopylov, got Azamat. He said he's tired of Russians. But yeah, you won't be tired when you fucking keep beating them, man. Keep bringing them on.
So you reckon Costa KO late, which is Costa round 3 KOs plus 1,200, I believe.
That's so shit, man. Like, yeah, that's not bad, I suppose. I'd rather just take the ITD, and I think that's like 300, maybe even more.
I lied. Costa KO round 3 is plus 1,800, 18 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Round 2 is 11 to 1, 1,100. So I like those numbers. I actually played Costa and over 1.5 at plus 250.
Oh, that's a great number. Just to win the fight and over.
Just to win the fight and over 1.5.
Yeah, that's smart on that. I like that. Yeah, I've got a book who does that. I'll check that out. Right. Main event. We have Jiri against.
DraftKings offers that bet for anyone watching who wants to take it.
Yeah, and in the UK, if you've got Unibet, go for it. Jiri against Ulberg, main event. I'm taking Jiri. I like him more now that I see that Ulberg's a fat cunt. You know, people are sticking up for him saying, this is just people blowing shit out of proportion, like people having staff each week. I don't think so, man. Like, there's a clear difference. He looks like a fat cunt. Maybe something's gone on. People talking about he's got coronavirus or AIDS or whatever it might have been. It would make sense to me. It would be a clear explanation because he looks extremely different than he did before. So I can only go by what my eyes are seeing, man. Regardless of that, I like Jiri. I thought he was going to win anyway. Too fast, too dynamic. You know, I went back and watched fucking Eskimo Joe, who knocked him out. Ulberg pressured him against the fence. Ulberg was pot shotting, and then Joe just knocked him out, man, clean. And I think that's what's going to happen with Jiri. Jiri's going to pressure him against the fence. He's not going to like it. the unorthodox movement of Jiri is going to be a problem. I think Ulberg's a traditional type kickboxer. You know, he wants to make his reads and he wants to see, you know, patterns in people's movement, and you ain't getting that off Jiri. You know, he'll go from throwing a fucking head kick to an Umanari roll. Like, he's just a mad cunt. So you ain't going to read him. You ain't going to know his tendencies or any of that shit. It's going to leave you lost on the feet, confused. And Jiri's going to spank you and become the champ. So I like Jiri a lot. Surprised by the number. You know, if it was minus 180, minus 190, I wouldn't be surprised here, Jiri. But whatever, price is what it is. And I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that. Only one man has been able to stop Jiri, and that's, you know, a man with stone hands. And I don't think Carlos, who's Ulberg knocked out, really? Just our friend with the glass chin, Mr. Dominic Reyes. So I mean, maybe he's knocked out a few other people, but no one notable, right?
No, he's had a good run, man. He's had a favorable run for sure.
So I think Jiri's just he's been through the fire. He's got the new dad energy. If it's a coin flip, which it is, I'll take the guy who's done. I guess it's a coin flip because we've seen Jiri knocked out bad, and we haven't seen that for Ulberg. But that's not fair to. Just because you've seen it doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Like, you have to consider the opponent too. So I think you get a little bit of a discount on that public flattening that happened. It was a really embarrassing one too. So I think the line discount reflects some of that anxiety of just repeating that visually and having money on that.
Yeah, I'll be more clearer, man. Maybe I'd probably fucking am talking in riddles. Eskimo Joe is that Kennedy and Jagaku or whatever. He was the one who knocked out fucking Ulberg, and yeah, knocked him out clean, man. He was fucking all splattered against the cage. So I rate being knocked out by Alex Pereira. Yeah, like fucking, you know what I mean? If he's knocking you out and then Alex is knocking you out, there's no shame in the Alex one, but Kennedy, bro.
It's levels.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Would you advise people to bet Jiri? Do you think you could finish KO sub? Obviously, it could be club sub.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely fucking never betting like Jiri by KO without covering the sub anymore. You know, if he's subbing Glover, and like I said, he's a mad bastard. You never know what he's gonna do. Yeah, always covered the fucking sub with Jiri, man. I'd even want Jiri sub 1-2, man. That's another thing. People are talking this fight like it's one of two ways, you know. It's Jiri catching him late, weathering the storm and all that, or Ulberg's only got a shot in round 1-2, and it's not the case at all. In fact, I think it's the exact opposite way. Apart from Ulberg's got no chance, like, I can definitely see Jiri just coming out and knocking him out in round 1. Or I can see him like fucking around for 2-3 rounds and then Jiri knocking him out. But yeah, I don't think this is like a clear, you know, it's this way or that way. And
it sounds like you sort of see the fight with Jiri being able to push Carlos back up against the cage sort of at will, because Carlos doesn't have the power to dissuade Jiri, but he might have the footwork to just sort of skirt around, and Jiri, you know, is just whiffing at air until maybe he catches something somewhere.
Exactly, yeah. I just think something's going to give, and the something that's going to give is Ulberg having to like retreat. I don't think he's going to be able to stand his ground, or when he's doing his footwork shit. I was laughing, man, because I was thinking of Jiri against fucking was it Roundtree? So yeah, he got into round 2-3, and Jiri just did not give a fuck, you know. What's his name would go one way, and Jiri was like, no, fuck you. I'm just gonna like. He was on a mission, man. So yeah, that pressure's too intense. There's nowhere to go, and when you're fighting backwards, it's completely different. And Ulberg has shown us in the fucking Eskimo Joe fight, he can't go backwards. He doesn't like it. He can't punch going backwards, man. He tried. And yeah, Kennedy didn't give him any fucking respect and was like, nah, fuck you, mate. Like, yeah.
CKB. He's also Ulberg CKB as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that gym is on the downslope too.
Bro, they're all fucking Kaikara France or dogs or whatever the fuck they're doing over there. They're a freaky bunch, man. Dan Hooker and Izzy and the rest of them. So, and Ulberg's a male stripper.
That might be how the next coronavirus starts. Is on
the yeah, fucking bro. It's a shame Kaikara France isn't still in the UFC. I'd make him the mush and we'd make him that fucking monkey from Outbreak. You know, the one who spreads the virus. Yeah, that would have been good, man.
Right. Yeah, the gym is doing freaky stuff. I don't want to be a part of it. They're on the downslope. They're saying, hey, this guy Ulberg, who got knocked out clean by Kennedy, is the same price to a guy who's only ever been knocked out by possibly one of the GOATs of MMA.
Exactly, and the narrative stuff as well, man. Jiri, he's got like fucking almost 2 million followers, and Ulberg's like got 100K. I know these are incidental things, but like when you're looking at like UFC push and that, they want to push Jiri, and I know he still has to get in there and fight and beat the fucker, but they tried with Alex, now they're trying again with someone much lesser in Ulberg. Like it's clear what they want to happen. I know obviously Jiri's got to get the job done, but still. Yeah, and I think it was short notice maybe for Ulberg. I watched that in the presser. He mentioned that. I don't know how short notice, but I'm sure he said it was. And to me, when he mentioned that, it was kind of like a built-in excuse the way he said it, because the guy didn't even it wasn't even in the question, and then he said it. So I was like, that's kind of like a built-up excuse. Like, oh, it was short notice. Like, you can picture him at 50 telling the story. I didn't get my dues, man. They fucked me. It's like, nah, well, you just got knocked out in round one because Jiri's a bit a bastard, man.
Do you remember the line when Alex and Jiri first fought each other? Was it around the same price as this fight?
Yeah, bro. I've got a shit record on Jiri. Like, it's bringing back some fucking trauma. But yeah, I got a bad history on Jiri with Alex. I think I lost both times. Yeah, you got like fucking plus 110 on Jiri. It was enticing.
I guess the implication is, hey guys, Alex Pereira and Carlos Ulberg are the same fighter. That's what the odds makers are telling you.
Yeah, it does. I think dictating the line a lot is Ulberg's rise. Like, he is on like a win streak. I think they're looking at that, but they're not looking at the level of opposition. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we're wrong, and it's like all week it was there. Like, you could have got him at like plus 110, Ulberg underdog, and now he's champ, and he's always going to be like minus 250. But I doubt it, man. Ulberg shit. And I reckon the line's going to change. Like I said, as fight week gets closer and people know Jiri and they've seen his style, and the UFC are probably playing these knockouts on their social media, people are going to start betting Jiri. I imagine like minus 150 shit.
You know what the difference is? Ulberg doesn't have a shaman.
Yeah, fucking. Did you see the shit with Hockett and Jiri?
No,
kind of seemed like maybe they're setting some shit up for the future, planting the seed.
Who knows? Hockett's always. I don't trust the man as far as I could throw him. He's just a self-promotion machine.
Bro, what was all the fucking Mexican shit anyway? Like, Blades is black. You know what I mean? I didn't even get it. Why is he dressing up as a Mexican? What's the reference?
I don't think there is a reference. I just think he's like, here's a new character I'm trying out.
Okay, bro. Lame as fuck. All right. Yeah, we had a fucking cool parlay last week. 26-1. That was nice. It wasn't official. It was official in the breakdowns, but I didn't do it on BetMMA. But it was posted. Some people tailed, so I'm gonna try and do one of them again, man. Is there any, while I'm bringing that up, have you got any props that you specifically like that are wide?
Yeah, let me look and see.
Let me find that, man.
So as we were talking, I like Gamrot minus 3.5 at plus 125.
Yeah.
I
got that down.
I took half a unit on that while we were chatting. I mean, I took all of the Jiri round props. I took 1, 2, 3. I didn't take anything beyond that because I don't think the fight goes beyond that.
I'll tell you what I've done as my parlay. And actually, I'll tell the chat what I did last week. So last week, I did Yakayev by sub decision. That was plus 240. Moicano 1-2-3. That was plus 240. And then Alice Pereira fight not to go the distance. That was like plus 200. Bro, Karen, like if you had money on her, what the fuck? She's wrestling. I knew she'd get my takedowns for me. I knew it. Like she's rejuvenated and all that. And then she's like fucking lets her up to get knocked out. I'd be like, you fucker, man.
I mean, that was stunning. We had money on that. We were on the Alice side money line, Alice KO. So we ate on all sides of that. It was a great sheet last week. We were riding high in the Discord. So definitely join us. See you in there if you want to keep chatting more fights.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Link in the bio. Peace out. Good luck with your bets.